What's going on,
And
everybody?
here we are.
We are back.
Again.
And if I am not mistaken, this is the 10th episode.
10.
Am I right?
10. Yes,
10 of them.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
means we didn't talk shit for 10 hours at least.
Yep.
So that's cool. Well, we got 10 more after that, 10 more after that. Thanks everybody for the first 10. Anybody who catches this late, thank you too.
Oh, yeah.
This has been fun. We're gonna keep going and keep having fun, keep growing and getting better. So
Yes, sir.
with all that said, I am Lamar. That's my brother Casey Fowler, and this is
said
the
it
Fowl
right.
Language Podcast. I mean, you were
Yeah.
crying last time, so I guess I'll say a little name.
Hey, man.
I'm gonna go by Casey Fowler.
It's my
Please,
alias, man. Let me use my
please,
alias.
can I have a
Please,
pseudonym?
man.
Please, I want to be
Please.
professional. Punk ass. Yes.
Pseudonym.
So a pseudonym is basically another name, pen name.
Oh, okay. Cool. Learn something new
So
every day.
if I said that shit wrong, I'm gonna edit this shit out because I can't remember sometimes. But go ahead.
And buckle in, like always. This is gonna be a good one this time, and you might just hear some foul language.
You got that right. We are black men
Woo.
who are brothers. We're fathers.
That we are.
And we're husbands, and we're just living in this crazy world, telling you guys how we see it. So let's begin.
I guess I'll take it first if you don't mind. Got something real good, real big on this January the 27th.
Well, that's good, man. So what he's talking about, for those that are new with us, we kicked this thing off. Thought it'd be a good time, episode 10, to remind you guys, this is the What's Best in Life segment. Where we talk about the good things that happen in the week, just to kick the show off, letting you guys know that even though shit is crazy in the world, there's still positives to be found.
Gotta find it.
That's right. So brother, I ask you, what is best in life?
What is best in life? So it happened in the middle of the night because we had some other craziness going on. But I would like to say, welcome to the world, Miss Genesis. Tyler and Classy had their baby, bro. I think he said she was 6 pounds, 14 ounces.
Oh, cool,
welcome to the world, baby girl. Welcome. Can't wait to see you.
I know, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is, man. Got my tune-up done on my car finally, and they didn't bust my head, man. I went to damn Firestone, and they was talking about changing my ignition coils and all types of shit. And they was talking about, the grand total is 1,469. I said, I'm gone. Fuck that. Went to Precision, they hooked me up for like 300.
Yeah. You know, every time I get my car done, I'm just waiting for them to come out and be like, Mr. Fowler, let me show you something real quick. and they be full of shit, because back when I had the F-150, they would always tell me about, I can't remember what the fluid flush was.
The brake flush?
No, it wasn't a brake flush. It was some fluid that you have to deal with if you're towing with the truck. I can't remember what it's called, but every time I went after my truck hit 120,000 miles, they were trying to offer me this service, and I was like, bruh, I got it done 3 times ago. See this shit on my paper right here? Oh.
Trying to get you.
I was like, y'all are officially full of shit, and I'm going somewhere else. I'm sorry.
That was just like Firestone, man. Damn, I needed a brake flush every time I went to go get my oil changed. But I went to Precision, and they ain't say shit about no brake flush. I'm like, you sons of bitches. No. What else? I'm in the market for a new headset, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna actually get a real one real soon. So you know what I'm saying? This one is actually backwards this time. But we're gonna
that struggle life.
Boy, that's Kevin shit once again.
Hey, don't feel bad. Mine broken too. So I need a new one too, but I just don't feel like buying one. So you buy one and let me know what you get.
Yeah, man. And what else? Facebook has been real interesting, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been having some interesting debates with our fellow Americans, let's just say that. And it's been pretty interesting, man. I like hearing other people's point of views about stuff, because if you disagree about something and I disagree with what you're saying, that's how you fix that problem and find a median and talk about the shit.
Yes, you call them. Facebook is stupid.
Yeah, if I had the number, I would. Shit, hell yeah. Hey, so what's that shit you was saying? But no,
Yeah,
but yeah. With that being said, bro, that's what's best in life, man. How about you?
oh, well, what's best in life for me? Let me think about it. Went to church this morning. We recording on a Sunday,
All right.
and got to chop it up with a good buddy of mine that I hadn't seen in a little bit. He's a good little bit younger than me. He's even younger than you, I think. I think he's close to Tanya's age.
Mm.
So he's like a little brother to me in a kind of way. So I kind of mentor into him a little bit, kind of help him. He's newly married. Well, he's been married about 3 years, so kind of help him see stuff a little different sometimes with the marriage stuff. He's got 2 kids. He's got a 2 going on 3-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Mm. Oh, so
So
he was just Peter Rabbit in that thing, boy. Dang! Shout out to him and his, man. Congratulations, y'all. I can't talk. You know how close
Yeah.
Tangy and Dre are in age.
Yeah, I know. So got to see him, just trying it up. I almost bought a new gun last night,
Damn.
but just because, man, I was online and some shit was available, and I was like, do I really want this?
Well, what was it?
It was what was it? A 22 LR pistol?
Oh, the one you was telling me about.
No, not that one. That was 9 mil that I showed you. I think that was last week. No, this one's 22 LR. It's a revolver as well, but it doesn't look like the one I showed you. And I was just gonna buy it because it was a Taurus. It wasn't too expensive, and it was 22 LR. And I think I saw a box of 22 LR for like $1.50 or something. I don't know. Shit was real cheap. It came out like 5 cents a round, so it was real cheap.
Wow.
So I was gonna get that, but then I was like, am I buying this just because I'm trying to buy something else? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. Stuff's gonna calm down one day, so I'll just wait until the end and buy what I want for a price that I want to pay. I got plenty of ammo and stuff, so I'm good. On the gun stuff, I was messing around trying on my holster today and practicing with that. That was kind of fun. Messing around with the different draw positions and stuff. Appendix carry still scares the shit out of me, so I don't think I'm gonna mess with that. And it might not even be rational, but I ain't messing with it. If you look in here, since last time, I have the black fabric.
Yeah.
So I just bought a just cheap piece of fabric and just threw it back here to see how that works out.
What shit? Just got a sheet.
I kind of got this mood lighting. Yeah, I might do that for next time. And I bought a fan, so it's circulating the smoke. And man, it makes a difference. I was in here last night testing the fan out. So in testing the fan, I had to have another cigar. So that was
Lamar, what you had that door? I'm still testing the fan, baby.
Was it last night? Kim was like, "You all right out?" No, last night Kim was asleep. The last time Kim was like, "You all right out there?" And I was like, "Yo, this is nice. This is like a little shed, man. You got your smoking cave.
You've been out there for 3 damn days."
Shit, I got my little window. If I can get my little food, like the drive-through, I'm good to go. But that was it. I'm trying to think if anything else good happened. But I think those 2 things were probably the main things this week. Just getting this area set up to work in the cold.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Yep. I'm still out here freezing. Got the heater on my feet. Got my underneath stuff popping. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Uncle Sam. Right. Yeah, man. So that's what's up. That is what's up.
Cool.
So I guess that's what's best in life then.
That
you got something else.
No, it's a short one this time. So we just in here chilling, hanging out, living life, doing what we do.
Living my life like it's golden. Face ass.
Shut your face. Man, I was gonna get fancy with the cedar spills. I got some, but I ain't want them to catch on fire, and I couldn't put them out in this small room and be then. Right.
Baby, goddamn, hey, baby.
Episode 10 would be real short. What is best in life? Click, no ending, no outro, no nothing.
Then you got Sean Paul playing in the background. We be burning, not concerned with nobody.
Want to say.
He's on fire, man. More fire.
Oh, yeah. Still on the fast, so accessories are real G-rated again tonight. Got this Twist of Lime mineral water.
Mine isn't, man. It's a combination this time, man. I had a little bit of the Four Roses left. splashed a little bit of brandy in here and mixed it all together. So I'm going to make it to the end of this show. Hopefully.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, nothing. Go ahead, man.
Okay. Well, you mentioned you went to church today, via online or whatever, and
no, we're in the building today, bro.
Oh shit, they went face to face, praise.
Yeah, man.
What? That's all right, man. That's all right. That means y'all doing what y'all supposed to as far as the pandemic goes out there to be able to do that. So shout out to y'all for that one, man. I guess I get in a little conflict, I guess you will, with a lot of people on basically religion versus spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been had a debate with Michael once or twice in that regard. You know what I'm saying? So as far as religion versus being spiritual, do you think there's a difference, or do you agree with the same? I know you actually go to church. I don't go to church. So what is your view on religion versus just spiritual?
I mean, people like to make them different. I like to distill stuff down to make it as simple as possible. And to me, they're wrapped up in a ball in the same thing. There's the spiritual aspect of religion. And I think when people are talking about religion versus spiritual, is they're talking about their connection to God or higher power, whatever you believe in, versus the rituals, the procedures, the techniques, the things, the instruction, all the rules basically. And I think that's where I see things. And some people don't go to church, and for a while we didn't go. It took us 5 years to find a church here. And I mean, what you see is what turns a lot of people off, I think, is when they see some of these churches and you're just like, wait a minute, that just don't sit right. Like, we had one church where they were like, all right, everybody, hold your tithe up. And if you're tithing this week, stand up. And if you're not tithing, stay seated. And so look around to see who's not tithing, and not to see who's not tithing, but they were framing it as see who's tithing so you can aspire to be like those people standing up. And I was like, well, if y'all do that every week, I get paid bi-weekly. So there's going to be every other week. So you're going to be looking at me like I ain't tithing when I do. So I didn't like that. And in that same service, girl came up. She was having hardships and struggles, and they prayed for her, and they took up a second collection, which is fine. I mean, because I've seen that, and I thought they were going to give it to her. What they ended up doing was they took that bad boy to the back. Now, if they counted it, cut a check later, and then gave it to her for accounting purposes, that's one thing. But as far as I saw, man, they took that bad boy back with the rest of the collection. So, and then there was
world about Pastor Tribe and his Bentley.
So I was going to talk about that next. So people bring that up, but see, I don't really have a problem with the pastor having a Bentley or whatever car you want to call it. It's usually a Bentley or a Rolls or something like that, though. But I don't have a problem with that when I look at it from a mathematics perspective. So let's say in the church rules, the pastor's salary comes out to 10% of the tithe money that's brought into the church, right? So is it small? It may be like $1,000. But if that church scales up and grows and be a big mega church like some of these churches in DFW are, that percentage stays the same. His money grows, and he's got speaking fees and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I have a problem with it when it becomes kind of humble bragging, if you will.
Yeah.
And kind of like, I'm just doing this for God. No. So there's one church we went to, and the pastor, he was like, he had been sick, and he was like, yeah, I don't think it seems like money just don't matter after you get real sick, and you get back and you start feeling better, and you just realize what's really important to you. And while I was sitting in the hospital, I told my dad, I said, Dad, I know you've been eyeing a Rolls, so you can go ahead it was the Bentley. He said, I know you've been eyeing a Bentley. You can just have a Bentley. And I was like, right. But he was like, but then later on in the conversation, he was like, yeah, but I kept the Rolls though, because the Rolls is nice. I'm like, well, Bentley and a Rose, cool. And then it was getting around the time I think his 20-year anniversary, and somebody got up and they were like, every family needs to give $20 for every year that he's been a pastor. So I did the math real quick and started looking around the room at how many people and how many services, and I was like, that's a cool million real quick. So hold on.
In the wrong business.
I give what I'm led to give. And so that's what I think when people say religious versus spiritual, they see stuff like that. And you're just like, I don't want any part of that shit. I don't want to be bothered with that, or the things that they make you feel like you're obligated to do, or stuff like that. Whereas our church is smaller, and it's kind of just, you're gonna learn and you just gonna go from there, and it's a good time. Everybody has, laughs, jokes, and I mean, shoot, my pastor was on the thing for my birthday, so I mean, that's cool. I mean, people just hanging out, living life, and just doing things the way things should be done. And
I was still on that bitch cussing my ass off.
But see, the thing is though, and that's what I'm saying, is he wasn't on there trying to preach to you at that time, and that's where I think meeting people where they are is what I think is important. And I think that's where people, like you said, oh, I'm not gonna go to church, but I guarantee you, if you went to my church, COVID aside, you would have a good time. You would enjoy it, man. I guarantee it.
I won't go in it.
Whatever. I mean, and we'll talk about that some other time. And you have some reason which I don't get, and you may want to elaborate on that now. Like I said, people get things in their head, and instead of talking to somebody who's going to talk in love and discuss it and try to understand it, it's like kind of like that conversation you and old boy had on Facebook. It's just kind of, this is my way, this is how it should be, this is how it should be, this is how it should be, and not seeing both sides. So I mean, that's kind of where I feel is like, to sum it up, people feel that like church is an issue, and the culture around the church and the ritualistic things in the church where people have problems with, and they say, oh, I'm spiritual. Okay. And when you say that, it's just because you believe in God. You explain, because I know you err towards saying you're more spiritual.
I am.
So
I am.
all right.
And what I mean by a spiritual person versus a religious person is you have your Baptists, your Catholics, your Muslims, your Jehovah's Witnesses, your Mormons, your this and that, whatever the hell. That's a religion.
Sure.
I don't believe in any of that, because in terms of religion, it's just, I look at it as a gang. Christians don't fuck with the Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Mormons don't fuck with nobody.
Sure.
Type shit. I mean, that's just how I look at it as far as a religious sect, if you will, goes. But as far as being spiritual, and my research that I'm doing, because us as melanin people, you know what I'm saying, we weren't Christians. Christianity was beat into us.
Sure.
So I began researching on, you know what I'm saying, what was our religion like prior. And so far, what I've dug up, what I've read, what I've understood is we believe in God. We don't necessarily pray to God. It's more or less praying to your ancestors, because it's like your ancestors are here and God is here. It's kind of like a chain of command. You won't go straight to God with your prayers. You'll pray to your ancestors for guidance, if that makes any sense.
Sure. They're like the intermediary between.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, got you. Sure.
And so, and after, you know what I'm saying, basing off of that's what I do, especially after Dad died. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think about Dad got saved before he died? But I'm sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I have my honest opinion, but my honest opinion is really not what I want to say, if that makes any sense.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but I mean, that was Dad's choice. He knew he was at the end of his rope. He felt like, that's what he wanted to do. That's his choice. I got it. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I'm not finna say, I'm not finna go and have another man that probably got more sins than me dip me in some water and say, okay, you saved now, or nothing like that, because that's not going to justify me being saved and going to heaven or hell or the Great Plains or fucking Nirvana or Valhalla, wherever the hell you go.
But see, it doesn't though. I mean, the dipping in the waters is a symbol.
Right. What makes you saved and all that other stuff. Because we grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? You hear the old folks, oh, you better get saved or you going to hell, you going to hell, you going to hell.
Right.
And them be the same people that don't live righteously. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I agree with you. And I mean, I think that's what kept me out of church for a bit was that kind of stuff that you saw. But I think that's what I was saying about, like, it's important that you find the same place, because my church doesn't necessarily feast that old Southern Baptist fire and brimstone. If you don't walk the perfect straight and narrow, you going to hell.
Yeah. See, and that's the part of religion that gets me.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about the love and the works and the things you should be doing for people. And, you know, hell is real. People still are going, you know what I'm saying? But
I don't believe hell is real.
Okay. I mean, difference of opinion. So what I'm saying is, you believe everybody's just gonna go and frolic and be great in the hereafter, regardless of whatever kind of life.
Oh, you're saying is that what I think?
Yeah.
No, not at all. However, I feel like, especially in they're gonna be mad at me, especially in Christianity, for instance, you know what I'm saying? They use hell as a scare tactic. I mean,
that's what I was alluding to. Yeah.
So it's, you know what I'm saying? And it to me, I haven't really dug into that. And honestly, you won't know if there's a heaven, hell, or whatever until you dead anyway. But that's besides the point. But as far as I know, it's a scare tactic. Oh, if you don't obey me and be my serf, be my slave, be my thrall, whatever you want to call it, you going to hell. They did that with you know what I'm saying, just their own people back in the Templar days. I guess the medieval times, I guess that's still medieval times. So, you know, they did it to them there. Muslims do the same thing. You see how they do their women and stuff like that when they go against the word or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Mormons, they might be mad at me now too, but Mormons that I have met been racist as shit. I met two nice ones. Don't get me wrong. I met two nice ones in basic training. Well, it was before basic training, and it was in the GD program I was in before basic. And we went to the Mormon church because the Mormon church would let us send letters and receive letters and stuff. So that was like the only cool Mormons I ever met. And their whole philosophy, John Smith found a magic hat in a fucking tree or some shit. Shit is fucking confusing, but all the religions allude to the same thing. I've read the Quran. I can't remember what the Mormon book is called right now. You know, I've read the Bible.
Isn't just the Book of Mormon?
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
I don't either.
The Jehovah Witness Bible, which is the exact same thing as the King James Bible. They just throw Jehovah in front of it, and Easter is not when Jesus was resurrected. You know, I've read all these differences, opinions, but I'm like, shit, it's all the same thing, but it's
the interpretation.
Yeah, it was an interpretation, and I felt like it's a tool that was developed to separate the classes, I guess.
Yeah, that's why it's key to do your, like you said, you do your own research and know what's out there. And some of that stuff is just like, no, not doing that.
Yeah, like the one part in the King James Bible where it says, you know what I'm saying, slave obey your master even if they're cruel to you or something like that. I don't know it verbatim, but that's what it says.
So I read that. I did. And because I was seeing it all over social media a while ago, and I read that. And context is a bad thing. So as you read, it's either before or after that. And it says slaves be good to your master, or yada yada. I'm paraphrasing now.
Okay.
But slaves be good to your master. Conversely, it also says master be good to your slave. You see what I'm saying? And the concept of slave was a totally different concept than when we think of how our ancestors were brought over here as slave. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is the relationship goes both ways. And if you see how we were treated, that's not aligning with what that scripture is saying. So if anybody ever tried to use that scripture to say, oh, God said slaves, you have to listen. No, that's not.
There's more to it.
There's more to it. And,
I get you.
And that's why I'm saying, like, if you read that in isolation, that sounds like some bull.
Mm-hmm.
But when you read it in a little more context,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't necessarily believe a man should own another man, but if you take that logic and apply it to, say, your work, like my job, I'm a supervisor, I have subordinates.
Mm-hmm.
Subordinates treat my treat your not master, but treat your supervisor manager with respect. And I treat my guys with respect. I mean, I look out for my guys. Nothing, and that's kind of that same line,
Yeah, and I get
I
that
don't
being a
care
leader
about
myself.
anything
I get
but
that.
my guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
as
I get
long as
that.
they're taken care of, I'm good. If I piss everybody else and my guys are good, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I mean that's kind of where I take it. And a lot of times what you get is you get those soundbite Bible quotes and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of what's missing is the true context. And I think that's what throws people off is the context. And so it's not about fire and now Old Testament was fire and brimstone, you gonna die. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a love thing and works. And that's why I don't understand why certain people who proclaim to be Christians are like just angry and evil and mean and hateful and vindictive. That's not what it's about.
And they don't understand the Bible. Like I said,
Right.
I don't believe in that
Yeah.
religious stuff, but I understand the Bible is not the end all be all for the person you're supposed to be. It's more of a set a group of stories, has a moral to it to say, you know what I'm saying, you should live your life this way. It's not saying, oh, you're gonna do this, you going straight to hell. You going to hell, hallelujah, and all that other shit. Like, and there's something else too. The main motherfuckers that be in there, hallelujah, chama. They go outside, and as soon as the church is over, they got a blunt rolled up in the car type shit.
But see, I'm gonna tell you something. Remember my quote from a couple weeks ago? It applies to so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what other people are doing.
Yep.
I got enough stuff going on in my four walls and with the family. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When I say family, extended family too. You know what I'm saying? There's enough stuff to worry about there. Then I don't really care if the person that's praising them crying is going to go roll the blunt on the way to the club.
No, that shit's already
the
rolled.
Strip club out. Right. Going to smoke the blunt, go to the club, strip club, get super drunk and pass out the same day. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I mean, that's what you gotta live with. Now, if you come to me for help, then I'm gonna help you. But otherwise, if you just doing, I'm not gonna base, what I'm doing and how I feel and what's going on with what other people are doing. I don't care about them. I mean, in their fair sense, but if I see somebody in need, help them. I care.
Help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think, and that's what being a Christian means to me.
Yeah. Okay, I got you, man. And I mean, you've
like
had these.
You've had these
debates so much. Yeah.
I'm never gonna say, "Oh, you going to hell, fire and brimstone." No.
Yeah, I mean, and you're honestly, and I'm sorry, family, but you're the only one that actually listens to me when I voice my views on the whole religion, spiritual thing. Everybody else just thinks I'm talking stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it is you, man. But I'm just
kidding. You right?
No, I'm joking.
And I'm silly as hell a lot of times. But when it comes to stuff like racial issues, religion issues, stuff like that, I do have a completely separate view on things based off of my perception of the research that I've actually done. You're a Christian. That's what's up. You still my brother. That shit ain't gonna change nothing.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a Christian. I know we was raised Christian. I'm not nothing but a man who believes in a higher power.
Right. And I'm not going to judge you for what you believe. If one day you decide to hang out with me and believe what I believe, that's cool. If
I was a sadist or something, boy, you better judge shit out of me.
Man, if you got a blood ritual or something, I'm gonna have to deal with you. But
I'm like stabbing a goat in the face type shit. But and that was another thing that prompted me to question me and Janae K talked about. And in our country, you can practice whatever religious practice you want to.
Sure.
However, if some of those religious practices cause for you to make a blood sacrifice of an animal, is Peter gonna get on your ass and are you going to jail? Or can you actually practice your religion? What do you think?
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you what I think. Just because PETA get on your ass don't mean you ain't going to jail. Because sometimes PETA takes stuff too far.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Because like,
but no,
you kill it.
I don't.
You have to fucking sacrifice an animal. You ain't got no goats, no pigs, no none of that shit. All you got is an old ass fucking Doberman Pinscher that you had since you was like 12, and you gonna sacrifice that Doberman Pinscher. You'll go to jail for killing that dog, but should you though? Because that's one of your religious practices.
I mean, I think a good lawyer will get you off, honestly, or any decent lawyer will get you off. I mean, freedom of religion will be a thing. You'll get some nasty looks in the Walmart when you get out, but I think you get out. Again, not a lawyer. Don't know for sure. Just guessing.
And there was another religion that I learned about when I first joined the army, when I was going through my training and stuff. Wiccans.
Mm-hmm.
They're very interesting, man. Cool ass people.
Mm-hmm.
Cool as hell, but they're I find their religion fascinating. Like when I first seen it, we was doing some training or whatever. Dude was standing on the steps of the little trailers we stand in, and it was raining. And he had this big, deep ass voice, bald head, white dude, look like Kane from WWE, and he was going, and I said, man, do y'all see this shit? Hey, dress on, he dress on, because I didn't know what it was. He was like, oh, he's a Wiccan, you know, they believe in nature and all that other stuff. So I'm like, oh, cool. You know, I met a couple of them during that time frame, but that's an interesting religion also. You know what I'm saying? That's, to me, just talking to them, they're oh yeah, train. I was so passionate about what I'm talking about right now, guys. I apologize, but
I'm sorry.
In my opinion, and if there's some Wiccans that's gonna hear this, I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. I mean, if you get mad, so I don't care. But it's kind of the Native American religion they used to have. It's kind of the same in the same breath, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really freaking cool, man. Yeah, that's really all I got, man. As far as religion versus being spiritual and things like that, it's a heavy topic. People get real sensitive, especially us, when we start talking religious stuff, because we blaspheming if it's other than what they was raised on, what their grandparents was raised on, their great grandparents, all that stuff. We're wrong.
I think it's, just certain things that we as a people get ingrained in us. Like, you're going to go to church on Sunday, you're going to vote Democrat and a whole bunch of other stuff. You have to do your research and come with the facts. And sometimes you can't, everybody ain't going to agree with you. But again, if you're clear and you comfortable with what you believe and what you think or what you support, that's fine. Just don't be taking out no goats in the backyard, man.
I mean, that's what your gods or whatever calls for. Like if you believe in the Norse, I met a Caucasian lady working at Burger King, and she believed in the Egyptian gods.
Oh, I've seen some of that.
That was really interesting because she wasn't melanin at all. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Like, it was really cool, man. Like, I got written up, you know what I'm saying, for saying the N-word, because I was washing dishes and rapping and shit, and she wouldn't snitch on me. I was saying the N-word. I'm like, you should want to say it with me. No, I was just playing. But yeah, man, there's so many different religions out there, man. So many different beliefs. And a lot of people will condemn them and things like that. Me personally, I think it's fascinating. Hinduism is cool as hell. Buddhism is cool.
Yeah, I agree.
The Catholic religion, I'm gonna leave that with that said.
It's too structured for me and other stuff, but I won't get into that.
Yeah, we not.
It's not my thing. Believe what you want to believe. If you want to discuss it, holler at us in the comments.
Oh, please do. Please.
Facebook, point us to some scriptures of your religious book of choice. That'll be fun too. Cause it's fun to read them.
Oh yeah.
Learn about the different belief systems. Learn how they parallel. Cause a lot of them parallel.
They're the same.
So
for those of y'all who didn't realize what parallel meant, they're the same. They're parallel. They parallel. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. A lot of them, and that as growing up, you know what I'm saying, reading different ones, because I didn't pick up a Quran until I was a correction officer and was just bored as shit and needed something to fucking do while I wasn't doing rounds and shit. and just, picked it up and read it. And I was like, it's basically the same. The profit's different, but
sure.
The profit is pretty much the same thing. Like I said, the only thing that really threw me off was the Mormon gent with the magical hat and that shit. I was like, what?
I'm gonna have to check that one out because
John Smith found a magical hat or some shit that had the Book of Mormon in it and some shit like that. It's been over 10 years since I read that shit. So, well, not shit. Sorry, guys, if I offended you.
Man, stop apologizing, man. This
not
is
really.
Fowl Language Podcast.
I just said not really. I really don't give a shit.
There you go. We say what we say. Anybody's up to discuss it.
You must not know who my daddy was, goddamn.
Right. So with that, man, let's change gears.
Yeah, let's move on, man. So you said you was thinking about buying a pistol yesterday, man. A new joint. So that leads me into our next piece of conversation is buying cheap versus buying expensive. Because I mean that cheap sometimes look real damn good, and you be like, damn, I can get the same shit for like $10 cheaper. But the old saying is you get what you pay for. So as far as buying cheap versus buying expensive, like for you in particular, how do you cut that? Because some shit I buy cheap, some shit I buy on the more expensive side. How do you separate the two?
It depends. I mean, I don't go for always the cheapest. I don't always go for the most expensive that I can afford. It just depends on what it is and what I want to use it for. I look for the best value for me. And sometimes, like if I'm getting into something new, I'm gonna go the cheaper route so I can learn, what I like, what I don't like, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And I can, when I want that more expensive, I know it's got to have this, and this. Like my pen that I talked about last week, my fountain pen.
My fountain pen.
Yes, the fountain pen. I bought a relatively cheap one for that because I don't even know if I like it, or I wouldn't know if I'm not gonna know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know what's important to me. So if I put, $50, $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 on up on a pen, and I don't like writing on this pen, I'm gonna be pissed off. But if I buy this $15 pen and it becomes my, the way I prefer to write, great, I can upgrade later. Or if I find that I hate it, I'm not out too much money. And that's kind of my approach on things. And then it just depends. If you need something that's just disposable and that you just need something real quick for an emergency situation or a temporary situation like that, then I don't mind going cheap. But certain stuff, once I do my research, I'll buy what's the best value. So sometimes it costs a little more. Sometimes it don't. Like my nifty little bomb shelter tornado tent. Keep myself
a tornado
warm.
Gonna take that bitch. That motherfucker ain't going
real quick.
Boom. God damn.
My undisclosed location backdrop. I feel it's even worse now with this little cover for all the blue that I put. I really feel like I'm in a undisclosed location.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy the more expensive because one, I don't know if I wasn't even gonna like the concept. I don't know just the size I want. So I'd be mad if I came off a few $100s, bought one of these things, and be mad. I mean, that's kind of the approach I do. I think it kind of depends on what I need. I understand what I need the thing to do first, and then I figure out how much it's gonna cost. Just like our podcasting setups. For starting, I mean, I work with what I have, and it's not the most expensive stuff. But as we get better, as we grow, as we learn and become profitable, I'm putting that out there. As we become profitable, we're gonna upgrade. We're gonna level up. The editing will look better. The lighting will look better. Into
existence, as you religious folks would say.
That's right. The sound will get better. Might even get a little smoking room or something like that to just man. So
join me down to the smoking room for some cigars and some cognacs.
Yeah, I'm gonna put one together, man. I think I so
that'd be dope.
So I mean that's kind of the approach I take. And you, sir?
Me, man, really? I'm a cheap ass dude, man. I got a lot of kids, dog. Cheap. Nothing, no, but for real, it just same thing for you. It depends on what it is. Prime example, I won't pay fucking over $20 for a pair of jeans. Like I see them shits like 30. Hell no, $30 for some damn jeans. Go get some Dickies at Walmart for 12. Hell no. But you know what I'm saying? But my shoes, on the other hand, I gotta have good quality fucking shoes.
Sure.
And it's the same thing with like my military boots. The cheaper end ones, like I was getting these military boots from Walmart, $40 military boots. I done replaced them shits 3 times. So, but when I had a good pair of boots, the $150, $120 boots, because them boots is higher than fucking Jordans, bro. But I get a pair of those. Them bitches last for years, man.
Right.
Fucking snow, wet. I mean, it just depends. Like I said, you get what you pay for, and it just depends on the item. Like my firearms, I'm not gonna pay for no cheap ass shit. Because if it's cheap as hell, that means it's gonna fire fucked up. Like High Point is probably the cheapest fucking weapon out there. And from what I was told from the people at the shop, the gun shops and shit, is the metal from that shit is made out of matchbox card fucking metal or some shit like that. But
probably just pot metal, just real cheap metal.
Yeah, but I mean, it just depends. I catch a clearance sale real quick. Like I said, got a lot of kids, man. I mean, you know, them teenagers, well, not all teenagers, Dre in particular, you know what I'm saying? He got to have the Jordans. He got to have he want the Balenciagas, bruv, and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see the point. And I explained to him, what's the point? You going to pay, we went into the first time we ever went into the Lenox Mall. The kids wanted to go to the Lenox Mall. They was going to hope they seen a celebrity or some shit. They wanted to go. So we went. And
not in the Lenox Mall anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we were coming up, but not anymore.
So we went out there. That is the mall, right? The expensive mall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'll catch 1 or 2 in there. Like, I caught Jacquees in there once. He little. But
I mean, but yeah, you got to pick the level of celebrity you go catch in there. But
no, you ain't gonna catch Dwayne The Rock Johnson in that bitch or Shaq or no shit like that. But you know, we went in there and they seen a bag. It was a Gucci bag. And they wanted $1,500 for that bag. He was like, "Dang, Dad, I wish I had it, man. So I can get this bag. I said, "Son, $1,500. You can either put a down payment on a car, or you could buy a little A to B car for $1,500, and then might still have some money left over. I mean, so you got to think about it. And then the other cats that want to buy knockoff shit, from like the people that come over here. You know what I'm saying? They buy the knockoff shit, and they just be rocking that shit like it's real. I mean, it's not that serious. I mean,
no.
If you like to dress like that, cool. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got to pick up these females, right around. I'm going to dress like this. Then, bro, you either ugly, you ain't got no game to begin with. So, I mean,
you going to learn them ain't the kind of females you want.
Anyway. Yeah, exactly, man. And you know what I'm saying? What else? Getting my car worked on. Like I said, I spent the $300 or something on it. I'm not going to pay Joe Snuffy from around the corner $60 to do my damn, my tune-up and shit. And then I get half down the road, my shit starts smoking, the catches on fire. No, and because
you can do about it.
Yeah, because I've been there and done that. Had a guy change a starter of mine. Starter conked out, wouldn't work no more. He couldn't get a hold of him. He wasn't trying to fix it, no shit like that. And I'm like, you know what? If I can't do this shit myself, I'm taking it to a professional and just pay that extra little bit of money.
Yeah.
Video games is the same fucking way. If I really want that shit, I'm gonna get it. I ain't gonna wait for it to get low. I mean, it just depends. If there's something you're really passionate about, cigars, alcohol's another one, because I can't drink no cheap alcohol, bro. Not no more. Shout out to everybody that's still drinking Steel Reserve, Mad Dog 2020, Mr. Boston, McCormick, and any of the other the real
the plastic
MVPs.
Bottle.
Yeah,
the plastic bottle liquors.
The real MVPs are the guys that drink that military shit that says like Stars and Stripes or some shit like that.
I seen that.
Those are the real MVPs. If you're drinking that shit is like $7 for a fifth. If you're drinking that. More power to you, bro, because fuck that shit.
No, and I think once you start to appreciate, just talking about alcohol and stuff, once you appreciate it and you taste what the good stuff tastes like I think for me, what changed my stuff is in Dallas, they used to have every year a Macallan tasting. And that's when I think I was still drinking Jack Daniels or something like that.
Yeah.
And I went to this Macallan tasting and they give you you come in the door and they give you the 10-year Macallan. And then you get the 12-year. Then you get a little bit of an 18-year to toast it, and you can kind of taste the difference. And it's like, oh, not even, the perception of it or seeing, but just the quality to me is what you really want to see. That quality is what's important for the alcohol to me. I mean, and that's why like my favorite bourbon right now is a $30 bourbon, and that's fairly cheap for bourbons. And so I don't necessarily care about price, but you can identify quality sometimes, and sometimes you got to pay for that quality.
Yeah, sometimes like pellet grills, they cost like $2,000, and
so I got a pellet grill. I do
cook via your phone and shit.
Yes, you can.
While us regular folks still gotta wait for the charcoal to cool down 15 minutes. And I might get one though. I might get one.
So again, it's about what you want to use it for. I hated going in and out the house trying to deal with the grill or messing with the charcoals. And I like that charcoal taste, but sometimes you just want to fire the grill up real quick, cook something real quick, and be about your business. Because if I want to cook during the middle of the week, get off work at 4, drive an hour to get home, got to deal with the kid. What?
Get off at 4, bro. Really?
I used to get off at 4. There was a time I used to. So get off, get home about 5:30. If you get stuck in traffic, 6 o'clock. I don't want to have to wait for the coals to get right and mess with coals. Where I can just fire that bad boy on and go. I paid for the convenience in that case is what I paid for, and that's convenience and efficiency is something I value because while I like cooking on the grill, I don't like spending all the time cooking on the grill, like doing a brisket or something like that, where you got to spend basically like homeboy of mine cook one. You got to sit outside with it, add charcoal.
That's one thing I don't like doing is smoking on my grill.
Yeah. So with this, I just put that bad boy on, keep monitoring it, and I go out if I want to. And so that convenience is awesome.
You got to connect it to your Alexa. And your Boston butt is done. Boston butt is done.
Not yet, but I'm waiting for the software update because one day they're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to do it.
They gonna do it, man. Another thing, as far as cheap versus expensive, safety. Safety for like car seats and stuff like that. And just everyday stuff. Just sometimes you're gonna have to pay a little bit more for you to be safe. I said car seats. Let's use car seats as a prime example. Sure. The more higher end car seats are way safer than the one you got from your cousin that had a 10-year-old and they holding on to this car seat and they want to get you the car seat.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Stuff like weapons too. Like I mentioned earlier, they don't want to buy no cheap weapon. That shit might blow up in your fucking face.
Well, then with the weapons, what I learned is like the build quality is the thing, and you hit on that. The quality of the metal, the tolerance of the parts and stuff like that. But two, you got to be careful, especially with them car seats, man. There's a point where it's called diminishing returns, where the more you spend don't always equate to the safety and quality you get. Safety's only going to get you to a point, and then you just paying for name, random features and shit. And like the car seat you give me shit about all the time, it ain't nowhere close to the most expensive one on the market. But
you mean the one with the Teflon and the Bluetooth? And the built-in Wi-Fi and all that other
whatever,
shit.
Man. Whatever.
I seen that shit. I was like, wow.
But see, and that's the thing. As far as car seats go, wasn't even that expensive.
And same thing with tires. Like tires is a good one. Because a lot of people like to go to the used tire shops. And they'll get them tires. They'll get a whole fucking set for like $150. And 2 weeks in the drive and you got a fucking slow leak or something. Because you don't know what the hell you're paying for. And that's why I like I go to Firestone. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't having people checking my pockets, but I paid like a cool almost 1,000, I think almost. No, it was closer to like 600 for my tires on my car, and I got it at Firestone. However, that shit came with a lifetime warranty and just a tire tread. Like we got tires about a year and a half ago. Just because we're moving is why I'm getting new tires, but that goes back into the quality when you pay a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I wanted to touch on what you were talking about, like with Dre, and I hate that we get so caught up in the brands.
Yeah,
because they see that Gucci bag, and I don't personally feel I've seen Gucci bags, and I don't Gucci and Louis bags. I've seen them. They're nice, but I don't believe you get what you pay for when you buy one of those. And I'm not saying that because I don't want to pay for one. I'm saying that if you spent $1,500, what kind of bag was it?
It was just a regular old standard little backpack. You know, the ones that's about yay tall, got a little string or clamp or whatever that comes up.
Yeah, see, and
just real standard.
Whereas I could go buy like a leather backpack or something like that from a good leather manufacturer and pay like $300-$400 for that same bag, even as much as $500. And I can keep that bag. When LJ is old enough, he can take that bag. He can get that back. You know what I'm saying? So you might pay for that for quality and building material. I'll pay for that, but I ain't paying for no damn Gucci. That's just silly.
No. If I had a homeboy that had legitimate Gucci at the backseat of a truck or some shit, like Jody had clothes on a baby boy, I mean, you know, I might, I might slide a little, but I
still wouldn't, man. I still wouldn't.
So how about your wife's purse?
Nope. She's the same way, man. Thankfully. Now, if it's something that she wanted and it was quality and she knew she was gonna last, but you know those bags like that, they're wearing for a season and want another one. And if I'm gonna spend my whole check on a bag, that bag better be willed to somebody.
It said willed. I hear about leave. This Louis Vuitton bag.
No, so that's what I'm saying, man. There's stuff that you can last like a good leather bag, jacket, something like that, lasts almost forever. Paying once for quality, don't pay for names. Paying for safety. I think that's important too.
That's really all I got, man. Because I mean, I buy cheap shit anyway. Because like I said, I got a lot of kids, dog. College ain't cheap. I'm like, you sure you don't want to go to DeVry? You sure?
On that, man.
Go ahead. What you got?
Not really related, but hey, man, you do have a lot of kids. One of the things in my financial journeys that they talk about all the time, that if your kids don't get a full ride scholarship, or you don't have a 529 to pay for their school, or you didn't save, or you're not rich or anything like that, an interesting way to look at it is spend the first 2 years and get your core classes at a community college, and then transfer to the university of your choice, and you've got your main stuff done, and you've cut your costs by half. I mean, that's what a lot of people bring up, but there's that stigma of, oh, you went to the community college, that's not as good. But if you got a job or you start a business, at the end of the day, it don't matter.
Education is education.
Yeah, because people that I don't care where they went to school.
Yeah,
I care, can they do the job?
So, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So talk to them about that if they're willing to do that, because a lot of times you can get that real cheap, man. I mean,
well, Tangy is, because Dre's not going. Dre said he don't want to go to college.
Yeah, and that's
I
cool.
get it. I mean, it's not for everybody.
It's not.
He said he want to drive trucks. So
there's money in that, man.
Yeah,
that's
get it.
Money.
You get you a military contract with your own truck. That's what I was telling
you. Yeah.
It makes bread.
It's ways. I mean, we were always brought up, go to school, get your education, get a good job. That ain't the only way.
Yep, that's how we was brought up, man. I'll tell you what.
That said so much just there.
I tried, man.
That's funny.
I tried.
So yeah, man, we're talking about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned that I guess at Burger King you got written up for using the N-word in the song.
Yep.
So let's talk about that often venerated. I think the NAACP one time said we need to have a funeral for the N-word or something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about using the N-word in general and your use of the N-word?
I use it out of habit, because that's how we grew up. It was N-word this, N-word that, my N-word. You know what I'm saying? It was used as a term of endearment. It was used to say you fucking up. It was used to say I'm gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Different things. But as I'm getting older, and what I didn't like hearing is when my sons are referred to as nigga. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like my sons be referred to as nigga, savage, none of that stupid shit. Yeah, young black boy, young black man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's a two-sided street. I mean, yeah, it was used to tear us down and all this other shit and stuff like that. And I get that, and that's what some people are harping on, like that NAACP. That was a word that hurt the black community and all this other stuff. Rah. You know what I'm saying? But basically, and I think it was Marlon Wayans and his stand-up. I think it was him. It was some stand-up. I think it was him. But you know what I'm saying? It's a term of endearment for us. Mm-hmm. It's a word that, and something that we do as a community, as a people all the time, is the stuff that's meant to hurt us. We flip that shit and make it work for us. You know what I'm saying? Like that word was meant to hurt us, demean us, all that other stuff. We flip that shit and turn it into a form of endearment. You know what I'm saying? Because when somebody, hey man, you my N-word, bro. You're like, oh man, we're really good friends. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And as far as other races using it, to me personally, just that's me personally, I don't care. Because that word doesn't really affect me like other words. Like if a Caucasian person was to call me a nigga, thank you, but get it right, I'm that. And then, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you call me a colored, I'm about to fight your ass. I'm weird like that.
Sure.
But little quick story. So like I said, other races using it. So my wife is Chamorro. She's from Guam. She uses this all the time. I don't have a problem with it. It's cool. We were out in public. We was at Urban Air. And she was talking to Tanya's boyfriend. And she was real loud. She was like, nigga. And I said, hey, babe, it's cool at home, but you might not want to just holler that out like that here because it might cause an issue. And she got upset with me. And I wasn't saying you can't say this shit. I was saying you don't want to say this shit because it's gonna lead to an issue. Somebody gonna say something, and you know me. Soon as you say, what the fuck you say? You talking to my wife, my kids, my sister, my mama, you, anybody. You talking to somebody that's close to me out the way. I'm gonna act a damn fool. It's a touchy word to some people. And then at the same time, some of our people, they use that as an excuse to act ignorant anyway. It was like, oh, he called me. Oh, I'm about to kill him. Shout out to Twisted Tea, by the way. But I mean,
shout out to it.
He mollywopped that motherfucker,
man. But see, the dude, we going off topic for a little bit.
Go ahead.
But if you look at that video, that dude that was popping off at the mouth, he wasn't paying attention because I know you saw it from the very beginning. I knew how that was going in.
Yeah, the way he had that damn can grip.
I saw how he had that can, and he was just debating on how he was gonna hit him with that can.
And then as soon as that he tried to swing and that bitch dropped, that's when the white dude should have just shut the hell up.
Yep.
But he didn't. He just kept popping. We could go outside.
And it was glorious. It was glorious.
But yeah, man, so that's really my take on the N-word. I'm really curious to see what your take is. Not saying that you're a Carlton or no shit like that, because you show the hell ain't. But just your take on it, because you work in a corporate atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? A really diverse atmosphere, I guess. Kind of like what I do, but I'm pretty sure yours is more diverse than mine is. So what is your take on the N-word?
It's evolved. I mean, again, like we said, we grew up in that 2000 Georgia crunk music, so it was in every song, everywhere, whole verses, all bars. So, I mean, then
because it fit, like, oh, I'm gonna pull the trigger,
right. And so, I mean, to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I would never use that word, and I have never used that word, I'd be lying. So I've used it. I don't use it as much as I do now because I personally feel that there are, whether we want to flip it and use it as a term of endearment, I get that. I do respect that. But for me, I feel there are better words that I can use to describe the people that I talk to. Like you are my brother. You know what I'm saying? There are things that I can call you to build you up and not try to even take the negative and flip it into a positive. Let's just start with the positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really like when people are calling, like, referring as kings and queens and, you know, like that to a degree. but I like that. I like that respect.
Yeah.
So I like to show those with respect. But you know, when you see people acting stupid, and you're like, oh, they being some niggas right now. You know that's about the extent of where it might get used. But as far as me using it in conversation, I don't use it as much as I used to at all. But yeah, it still comes out from time to time as habit. But I try to avoid it and try to set the example because I don't want, these kids now don't care if anybody calling it because they don't necessarily understand the gravity of that word and
So
how harsh it was used just 2 generations ago. So for that, and that's where it gets into the thing about if other people use it. If you call me one, I'm not gonna haul off and hit you. I'm not gonna haul off and take you out and nothing like that, because nothing you can say to me is gonna impact me because I just don't care. I know who I am and I know what I am. So,
depending on what mood I'm in.
but now if you say something to my wife, my children, my mother, my family, you might not see tomorrow. And
Who can?
it's just that simple. And it's not even about, it's about the respect that I have for those in my family. I refuse to let them get disrespected. And so,
and that's our job, man. We're protectors,
yeah.
man. So you're not gonna.
That's how I feel, right?
But that's what's up, man.
I mean, I mess with Janae. I'm like, you can't say the word, man. I mean, it doesn't offend me, but I also know that you've taken the time to teach her the connotation of that word.
Yeah.
Now, if she were of a different ethnicity, I don't know how I would feel. I may feel a little different, and that may be biased, but it just is what it is. I don't know. I think going off and saying we're gonna have a funeral for the N word, waste of time and energy and effort. Let's do more.
It's not gonna stop.
Let's do more productive stuff than and worry about this one word in the English language that's causing all this strife. Let's build. Let's do more productive stuff than worry about a word.
And a lot of celebrities have been getting jammed up for their use of the N word. So my question is, do you really think they're like racist and bigots and all that other shit, or do you think they're in a type of circle where they're comfortable using that word and it's just a slip of the tongue? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think you'd have to look at their circle. I mean, I think in some circles, if they're all, the same, then they may be a bigot. But I think there are some that, like especially the younger celebrities that don't really know any better.
Yeah.
I think as the younger generations, as we get further removed, they start to hold less of an understanding of the significance, the negative significance of that word. And they just like, oh, I hear it in a song, so I should be able to say it. It should be fine. You say it, so why shouldn't I be able to? It's just a word.
Right.
So I think it's a little more of an ignorance than a bigot more often than not. Now, if you 40, 50, 60, 70, you might have some racists in you.
Yeah.
But if you're like 15 to say mid-20s, I don't necessarily think so in most cases. And it depends on where you are. And it depends on if it's an A versus that hard ER. That makes a difference too. So
Tiger. Hold on. So, no. That does something to me though.
Yeah. So I mean, we grew up in Georgia, so we heard it, and it meant in the most negative way possible. But again, like I said, I know who I am, and because I know who I am, nothing anybody can say to me is going to change that. So I wouldn't give somebody else that power over me to use one word and make me lose my mind.
Yeah.
But I will let you know. What you say? Did you say your slip is showing?
Yep.
I call them to the table real quick. It's not that it's not that big of a deal, but I'm not gonna make it the end of the world and make it cause for fight and jeopardize everything I have for somebody being stupid. And that's why I look at it.
And when you're in a particular space, you have to think about stuff like the N word a little differently. Like, am I really gonna lose my security clearance? Cause this little punk ass, smelling like wet dog ass, punk motherfucker ass, call me out my fucking name and fuck up what I got going on my family. I'm gonna let him ride. It's just me here ride. I don't give a damn what I got going on. You say something to anybody that's that close to me, anybody that share the same blood with me or I'm married to, I'm firing your ass up. No talking. But that's my take on the N-word, man. It's one of those debates that's been going on for decades, and honestly, it's not going nowhere. They still gonna say it in a hateful tone. We still gonna say it in a what's the word I used earlier?
Term of endearment.
We're still gonna use it the same way. Because I mean, truthfully, sometimes that's the only word. Because I even do dumb shit, and I say to myself after I do the dumb shit, I'll be like, nigga, come on, Kevin. Damn. Sometimes that's the only word you can say.
Right. I mean, to each his own. I mean, it's just, to me, in some respects, it's kind of along the same lines of people that don't cuss. There's other words.
Shit, I don't cuss. I don't cuss shit.
Right.
But carry on.
If you decide to use it, that's your business.
Yep.
You're not going to get silly stares from me and talking about, we need to do better, we need to overcome. I got energy devoted elsewhere.
Yeah, indeed. So the N-word, I mean, if you want to use it for hate, then you're a hateful motherfucker. Your parents are probably fucking siblings. Fuck you.
I love it.
And if you use it just because that's what you grew up on, I mean, don't change your way of speech. But however, don't be in an interview saying, yeah, man, me and my niggas used to, you know what I'm saying, move these boxes from left to right while I was working at UPS. Man, I love them niggas, right? Don't do that.
I hope nobody's out there doing that.
I'm pretty sure somebody's done it at least once. Don't do that. In a professional setting, keep it professional. If you're at home or whatever, around your family, do what you're going to do. Don't call your sons that, because that's all they're going to think they are.
Right.
They say, oh, I'm a savage. Oh, I'm that nigga. I'm a real nigga. No, teach them young princes and princesses how to be kings and queens, like you said earlier. But with that, man, that's all I got, bro.
Yeah, man. So I guess with that, unless you don't have anything else, man, we can call this a night.
Yeah, man.
And another one. This is episode 10.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks everybody for riding with us again. We appreciate the support. We really do.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, please.
We got something to talk about for everybody.
Right. Right. So hopefully you'll laugh a little bit, learn a little bit, and have a good time. So,
Oh yeah.
For everybody, it's my brother Casey Fowler.
Yeah.
I'm Lamar. This has been the Fowl Language Podcast, episode 10.
And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Share it with your friend. You ain't got nothing to do when you're on a doggone long road trip or something like that. Go ahead and put the Fowl Language Podcast on. We're at episode 10 right now. Plus, we got snippets coming out every day. You know what I mean?
Every day, yep.
Go ahead and check that out.